Pay attention. If you ignore the signal inside a newly issued OCC letter, you will, without a doubt, miss the single event that kicks off the 2026 institutional bull run. This isn't a theory. It's happening now. But here's the twist. The very same legislation that's swinging the doors wide open for Wall Street, well, it also has a Trojan horse hidden inside. A mechanism designed to give them the power to absolutely crush decentralized finance as we know it. And that's my promise to you in this explainer. Over the next 5 minutes, you're not just getting a news update, you're getting the blueprint you need to navigate this new, high-stakes financial world. All right, let's get right into it. We're going to start with the first huge development, because the official green light has just been given to every major bank in the United States. So, this all kicks off with the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, the OCC. They just put out this document, Interpretive Letter 1188, and trust me, it changes everything. It basically confirms that U.S. national banks can now legally operate as a riskless principal when it comes to crypto. Now, that term is the absolute key to this whole story. It's the legal backdoor that just unlocked the floodgates. So, what in the world is a riskless principal? Well, for years, the number one thing stopping the big banks was the risk, right? They did not want to hold volatile crypto on their own books. This framework right here, it completely eliminates that problem. It lets them be the middleman, the broker, without ever taking on the direct risk themselves. It's an incredibly smart workaround. And you can see just how clean this process is now. A client wants to buy crypto, they tell their bank, the bank goes out, buys it, and immediately sells it to the client. Boom, done. The risk bottleneck that kept Wall Street sitting on the sidelines for years, it's officially gone. The days of banks just watching the crypto space are over. They are all in. Okay, let's move on to our second point, because this is where it gets even more interesting. Right after that OCC letter drops, Ripple gets conditional approval to charter the Ripple National Trust Bank. You heard me correctly. The crypto company, Ripple, is now officially on track to become a federally chartered and regulated bank. And look, this is so much bigger than just getting a stamp of approval. This is about building the literal infrastructure for the next financial system. This move puts Ripple and their stablecoin RLUSD directly under federal oversight. It creates a new gold standard for compliance, and here's the kicker. It opens up a pathway to getting a direct master account with the Federal Reserve itself. This is exactly how RLUSD becomes the default go-to stablecoin for all of Wall Street. Now, let's talk about how this is already playing out in the real world. This isn't some future prediction. The financial plumbing, the actual rails for this new system are being laid as we speak. This is happening right now, and it is moving fast. Just look at the evidence. Over in Europe, Amina Bank is already live using Ripple's payment solution. In the DeFi space, Hex Trust is launching wXRP, which unlocks huge amounts of institutional cash. And then there's the monster move into corporate finance, Ripple's acquisition of G-Treasury. And let's be crystal clear about that number. We're talking about a $1 billion acquisition. Why would they do that? Because corporate treasuries are the circulatory system of global business. Trillions of dollars flow through them every single day. By buying G-Treasury, Ripple isn't just buying a software company. They're buying a direct pipeline into that massive flow of capital. This is an invasion, not an experiment. But as Wall Street is building these new on-ramps, Washington is building its own guardrails, and honestly, some of them look a lot more like cages. Remember that twist I mentioned at the top? Well, tucked inside the so-called Clarity Act that's floating around DC, there is a very well-hidden trap. You can see the two sides of the coin right here. On one side, you've got people like Miles Jennings saying this is the massive unlock we've all been waiting for, true regulatory clarity. But on the other side, critics like Paul Barron are screaming from the rooftops. They're warning that these bills could apply the Bank Secrecy Act directly to DeFi protocols. That means forcing impossible surveillance rules onto code itself, which would effectively kill decentralized innovation and hand the keys to the future of finance over to the big bank cartel. It's a classic wolf in sheep's clothing scenario. So let's put all the pieces together into our final blueprint. You've got the banks stampeding in, you've got Ripple building the highways for them to use, and you've got a legislative trap being set for true decentralization. You have to see this for what it is. This is not just a market event, it is a geopolitical one. This is all about control. And this recent quote from President Trump really puts a fine point on it. He said, "Crypto is an industry the US must dominate to compete with China." This elevates the entire thing from a conversation about finance to a matter of national security. The US government wants institutional adoption, yes, but it also demands control. Both of those things are happening at the same time. So, that's the bottom line. The rails for the institutional bull run have been built. The banks are officially here and they are ready to bring their clients on board. The only question that really matters now is the one on your screen. Are you positioned on the right side of this monumental shift? Now, from all of us here at Crypto Global News, we are not just going to leave you with a question. Here is your action plan. Listen closely. Number 1, subscribe to this channel. Not later, do it now. Number 2, hit that notification bell. This situation is changing by the day, and you cannot afford to miss our next intelligence briefing. And number 3, like this explainer and share it. People need to see this information. And for all of our US viewers who want this intelligence before anyone else, you absolutely need to be in our private Telegram channel. This is where we drop uncensored updates first. Take out your phone, scan the QR code on your screen right now, or just use the link in the description below. And do not go anywhere. Our next briefing drops tomorrow, and in it, we expose the one altcoin our intel shows the banks are quietly accumulating behind the scenes as we speak. To watch it, click on the card that just popped up on your screen. Click it right now, and I will see you there.
Stay ahead in the crypto market. Subscribe now for the latest global news and updates.